How you doing, YouTube family? Today is Monday, April the 7th, 2025. Is your man Big D, and I am back with another one. I want to thank all you good folk out there in YouTube land for continuing to show support to my son and I. He and I, we greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Well, family, my son wanted me to touch on a topic that is near and dear, and it happens often, more times than not, in the Black community. And the subject matter is domestic violence. See, family, let me explain something to you about this domestic violence thing. I grew up in a situation where I had the opportunity to see domestic violence up close and personal. I had a family member who thought that if his girlfriend or baby mama didn't agree with him, he wanted to go hands-on, do some hands-on training to reconfigure their thought process. And even as a little boy, I never understood why a man would be calling himself hitting on a woman. Even when I was a little boy growing up to be a teenager, I never understood how in the hell a man gonna call himself a masculine man by putting his hands on a woman. Now, I know that there are times when women get outside themselves and they say some crazy stuff. I even seen times where I've seen a woman slap the shit out of a man. And at that point, do he have a right to maybe defend himself? Yeah, absolutely he does. But that don't mean that he should take it to the extent as if he's fighting a man. You use the least amount of force necessary to get that woman off of you, and to create distance from you and that woman if a woman is putting her hands on you, and for you to leave the situation. And just like they call the police, if it gets to the point that you feel like you need to make a report because the violence and the battery was that bad, then you need to make a report. And that goes for men and women. So, women, you got to understand that when you out here in these streets, and you meeting these guys in the clubs and at the gas station and whatnot, you need to, first of all, look at this guy. You need to kind of get a feel for his energy. If there's some pookie that's at the gas stove that's slinging crack behind the back of the store, that ain't no dude you want to be getting with. Because in my mind, I see it like this. Men that have to stoop to unscrupulous measures, that tell me that their character might be flawed. And if a man's character is flawed, it is a likelihood that he may put his hands on you the first time that you do or say something that he don't think is right, whether he is in the wrong. So the reason why my son wanted me to do this was because there was a situation. He has a female friend, and from what I understand, my son's lady friend, her boyfriend put his hands on her, and because of the fact of the matter, she didn't want to be with him anymore. And I've seen that too. I've seen men get mad because the lady this girl don't want to be with him anymore, even though he ain't no good, even though he ain't about shit, even though he out there doing cheating and making babies outside the relationship or what have you. Whatever the reason that a woman don't want to be with a man, don't give him the right to go and putting his hands on her to try to force her to stay. So that's what my son told his lady friend, that, hey, that dude ain't got no business putting his hands on you. And this is what I mean, ladies. When you all go to choosing these men, you need to be very particular in the man that you're choosing. And if you don't know, then you need to go talk to, if you got a guy friend, and I ain't talking about no guy friend who trying to clap your cheeks. I'm talking about a real male friend that's like family. Probably best that you go talk to a male member in your family, maybe your pops, maybe your uncle, maybe if you got a brother or a male cousin. But it's probably best to get that type of advice as to what you may need to look for in a man, or if you don't know, maybe you need to go talk to a good male mentor, somebody in your family. You want to look, when you ladies, when you looking for a good, decent dude, you want to look for a man that's got, he got character, right? He see the value in, perhaps maybe going to college or perhaps going to a trade school. He see the value in working and getting it on the grind and getting it the hard way. Because let me tell you, I done had family members in my family that, they sold a little bit of dope. And at the end of that, ain't no retire from the dope game. They didn't retire from it, and all they caught was time in prison. So, ladies, you got to look at that. See, it's a lot to go into when you start when you start giving advice to women as to what kind of man you ought to select. But ladies, I'll say this. Because hey, listen, you got some professional men that beat women's asses too. So I can't sit up and say that it's only the brokies that commit domestic violence. I can't say it's just the middle of the road kind of guys. Listen, that shit happens in all different demographics, races, and what have you. You even got women that are in lesbian relationships. The stud be going upside the film's head. So this whole domestic violence stuff, man, this has been going on for a long time, but we got to stop it. And you got to understand, ladies, when a man put his hands on you, don't let him tell you, oh, look what you made me do, or this your fault. Don't let him try to mind mail you and mind fuck you into believing the reason why he gave you a black eye was because it's your fault. It ain't your fault. It ain't your fault. Now, at the same time, ladies, if you're in a relationship, don't do things that you know gonna trigger your man. Don't go out the house dressed like with your ass cheeks hanging out. Even if you have a nice body, be modest, be tasteful, because the same respect that you want your dude to give you, you need to give to him. But, all in all, ladies, you got to look at it like this. It will be impossible for me to give you every nuance as to what you should look for in dating a quality dude that potentially may or may not put his hands on you. Because as I just told you, NFL players, they done been caught beating their baby mama's ass or wife's ass. You got the basketball players, professionals, you know what I'm saying? They happen as the hockey players. You got police officers that do it, that beat their wives' ass, and they cops. So it is no way that I can sit and tell you what you need to look for, because you got some people that are very good. They're wolves in sheep's clothing. So they can manipulate you, and next thing you know, you say, well, hey, I don't agree with that. Next thing you know, wow, you getting backhand. So ladies, all I can tell you is this. The first time that it starts, the first time that he threatens to do it, the first time that he does it, you need to haul ass. You need to get your ass out of there. Now, the men, let me tell you something. Whether you know it or not, you get convicted of domestic violence battery. I know at least in the state of Florida, you can't buy no firearm. You will never legally own a firearm. That's just as bad as being a convicted felon. So, man, you got to understand this mentality that I get it, man. You know what I'm saying? You pour a little bit of your resources into a woman, and then for whatever the reason, oh, I just can't do this no more. Listen, if it can happen to Big D, it can happen to you. I'd have had plenty of women I done poured into, and for whatever the reason, they ain't around no more. Can I get my money back? No. Can I get my resources back? No. Is it a possibility that all the resources that I poured into this woman, that another man is benefited from and not blowing her back out? Yeah, it's a possibility. But men, that's just what goes along with being a man. That's why I never got off my, I'm not going to say that I wasn't upset about it. Not upset to the point that I want to see her leave. Upset to the point where, what the hell is this about? You know what I'm saying? Just yesterday you was good and today you acting crazy. So I get it. I get it, man. I get it because it doesn't happen to me. But at the end of the day, is this woman that don't see the value in staying in my life for whatever the reason? And mind you, this don't apply to Pookies and Ray Rays and Nook Nooks and Danks. We talking about dudes that's got their lives together. They ain't had no problems with the law. They good solid dudes. I'm talking about that kind of dude because that happened to good dudes too. For whatever the reason, the girl don't want to be with you no more. Listen, you can't get upset about it. You can't get upset that you spent, thousands of dollars on her. You put your time into her. Listen, you just can't, because there's no rhyme or reason as to why some women just change their mind. They do what they do. So, gentlemen, you have to always understand this. You don't want to do anything that is going to potentially stunt your growth. What do I mean by that? Okay, I'll tell you what I mean. You don't want to do anything that's going to stunt your growth in that you catch a charge because your lady don't want to be with you no more, and you go upside her head like my family member that years ago when I was younger used to do, and basically just try to beat them into submission, go hands-on training. No, man, you can't do that, because as soon as you catch a charge, you are going to potentially limit how much money you can make. Now, yeah, you can go ahead and start your own business and be an entrepreneur. Yeah, that may work. But at the end of the day, if you're gonna try to get in corporate America, listen, don't catch no charges. I don't care if it's misdemeanor traffic. Do not catch any charges, because if you do, you are gonna stunt your financial growth, at least in society. Because people ain't gonna care because you know what I'm saying, you paid your dues, you went to prison. They're gonna always look at you sideways. And especially if you're a woman beater. You get labeled as the kind of guy who gets so emotional and that you want to just go ahead and smack your woman up because you think that's what it's going to take to control her. Man, you can't control no grown woman. Grown-ass woman going to do what she want to do. And perhaps, maybe she don't want to be with you no more because you are dusty. Maybe the light bulb done finally came on and she said, damn, I've been wasting all these years pouring into this damn dusty ass little dude. He ain't gonna never be shit. And as long as I stay with him, I'm potentially ain't gonna be shit. So when she decides to leave, you can't get mad and go hands on. Maybe you need to take a good long look in the mirror and say, man, you know what? I see why she left. My shit wasn't together. I didn't have me together. And men, get your shit together for you, not for no woman. Your growth to becoming a successful man is for your benefit. And if a woman, you get to a certain point and you get to the finish line and you meet a woman organically and whatnot, and you vet her and she passed the vetting process, then she then can reap the benefit of your hard work. She'll be the beneficiary of your hard work. But if you go and spiking her up because she don't want to be with you no more, man, that just makes you a beta male. That makes you a simp. That tells me that you think that this is the only woman you can get and ain't no more out there. So in closing, family, this whole domestic violence thing has been going on a long time in the black community. Let me tell you, it's been around for a long time. I don't know if our ancestors learned it from the white folks from slavery. I don't know where it came from, but it is a bad habit that must be broken. I'm seeing women don't have no problems putting their hands on dudes, and then as soon as the dude responds, oh, I'm a woman, you ain't supposed to be doing that. And I agree. A man shouldn't be beating up on a woman. But ladies, if you put your hand on a man, put your hands on a man and whatnot, you got to be prepared for what may happen. I'm not saying it's right. I believe that a man should use the amount of force necessary to get a woman off him. He ain't got to be pounding her like she a dude. But these are the things I'm seeing nowadays. So we as a society is out of control, because when you have millionaires beating women's asses, you got wealthy men beating women's asses. You got danks beating women's ass. I mean, it's been going on for a long time. So we can't say only poor men do it. Only poor people do it. Rich people doing it too. So family, ladies, be careful who you choose. Gentlemen, take a good look at yourself and make sure that your issues together. Well, family, always remember, be more tomorrow than you were yesterday. Peace.